sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
This is Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Get your fucking life together. And I got Saf with me.
Yo, I'm in the building.
And we are Zooming with somebody that I'm a huge fan of. I participated in a festival, and this young lady was one of the participants, one of the stars of the festival. And she just looked so comfortable up there.
Nice.
But we got Gail Campbell with us. How you doing?
Hey! Welcome. I love her energy.
No, she's
Thank
on
you for having me on the show. We talked about it back in Philly during the festival. So I was on it with Stanley Ipkiss, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to be on this one.
And that was a dope interview. Even though we were outside and we had all the elements, around us, it actually came out pretty good. We got good information out of y'all that day.
Yeah, but that's what made it so authentic. It was like so authentic. It was, it was in the midst of the festival. Everybody was doing their thing.
We were sweating.
So, yeah.
But one thing that, and just to tell my co-host, one thing that I said about her was like, her confidence on stage is different. Like, and you rock it with a band that's not your band, and it's like she knew how to keep them in check the whole time as if they've been doing work together. But it looked like she was at home. Like, it literally looked like it's all this rock and roll stardom with the lights and all of that, but she looked like she was laying in the pool at home.
That's a natural for you.
It was so comfortable looking. And I just always respected that about you.
Thank you so much. I really am comfortable on stage, and probably more comfortable on stage than I am in the booth, tell you the truth.
Wow.
But that's understandable.
In the booth, you can hear everything, every little thing got to be perfect. On stage, you could be freer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then I love rocking with a band.
It's a fun feeling.
Yeah, so I'd rather be on stage any day than in the booth.
You seem like a performer. Like, I can just looking at you, like I can just see you rocking out. Like you just seem like that. Like you just ooze it. It's just oozing out of you. Like I can just absolutely.
Thank
you exude
so
it. You exude it. Absolutely. I can tell. I can absolutely tell.
Thank you.
I mean, no, because I'm already excited to jump in because the title of your latest project really has me intrigued. I want to know where that comes from. Bloody Waters. That's the latest project, right?
Yeah, that's my debut album actually.
Right.
With Stanley Ipkiss, who's the producer of the whole album. We're working on the next one now, but Bloody Waters is our baby. And the title kind of had an evolution, to tell you the truth. When I first heard the first track that we were going to do for the album, it had like a Muddy Waters feel to it. Okay. Like it had a bluesy feel to it. Right. And I was like, oh, this remind me of Muddy. This remind me of Howlin' Wolf. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this Bloody Waters. Okay. But then,
that's a hell of an undertaking.
It is.
That's a heavy thing to carry.
Yeah, but I love those guys, and I love like that blues sound. I love playing around with that blues sound. So as time went on and we started, really getting into the album, I had this spiritual situation where God spoke to me and said, your album's title is deeper than you think it is. He said to me, remember when I had to bring my people out of Egypt, bring them out of bondage? Wow. He said, remember I turned the waters bloody? Yes. And he was like, I just want to let you know that through this project, I'm bringing you out too.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's so introspective. Wow.
This is why her as an artist makes so much sense, because she's having vivid conversations with God about music.
Right.
Like it's truly a gift. It's one of those things that like we talk about all the time as humans. The older we get blurred from the things around us that are speaking to us, because we're told that they don't exist or that you're crazy and things like that. So you have to be mentally and energy wise on a level to accept that. To receive it, because it's probably knocking on a bunch of people's dreams, but they got all this other stuff they got to flush out to get it clearly.
That's a good point.
That's what I think.
And to your point, it's been my lifelong dream to be able to get my music out there and to do what I'm doing now. So I know, like, throughout the whole process, he's with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I can't even sing without his help. I can't write without him writing the song for me.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? So I just bring him with me because I trust him. I've learned to trust him. You know what I mean? I've learned to trust him because, I tried to do a lot of stuff on my own, just using my talent. Mm-hmm. Talent is good, but it's something more that you need than talent.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I just learned to, bring him with me and let him, captain the ship.
Word. Well, I mean,
and
who
I
better
just ride on the wave?
who better to trust, man? Like, at the end of the day, everybody else is going to tell you something, but you know who got your best interest in mind. And that's dope. That's something that's a blessing in itself. But I wanted to ask you two things. One is, how have you been spiritually since all of these changes with the pandemic and the uprisings and things? And two, a little background on the journey that, like you said, you tried many times to get to this place.
Yeah, well, I'm a very sensitive and passionate person. So
I feel that about you.
It's my natural inclination is to be, all over the place and all emotional with everything that's going on, angry. And, I was one of them sisters that be out in the street with people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
That's how I usually got down. That's how I've been all my life. Is I'm one of those frontline people. Mm-hmm. But right now, where I am in this season of my life, where everything going on, God has had me on pause. You know what I mean? Whereas he like, you know what? I just want you to watch. I just want you to watch. I want you to watch what's going on because it's something more than what you see going on here. So, thankfully, and this is not by my own strength, I know it's him. He has allowed me to stay still and stay very calm because it's not my nature to stay calm. He has allowed me to stay very calm, look around and be like a tree, steady and, I'm not swayed. I'm not swayed by what CNN is saying. I'm not swayed by what the pandemic and all of this. I'm not swayed by that. I'm being steady. I'm trusting him. I'm watching and I'm trying to see the big picture because I believe that it's something bigger going on and people are so emotional, they can miss it. You know what I mean?
She'll tell you, one of the first things I said when the pandemic started was that I was excited about the art that's going to come from these times. I was excited about the people like yourself that will take time to be introspective and to look at other angles and what will be produced, not immediately, but within the next 5 to 10 years because of what we're going through now. So I'm glad you said that. That gives me hope that I know one direction that it's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question. So it's interesting because patience is something that I'm trying to work on too. Was that something that was it something that you intentionally work toward, or is it something that just as a spirit it just came over you during this moment? Like how does your patience, how did that play? Like how did that come into part? You said it's not a part of your normal or organic personality. So how did that come into play?
Well, it came from, getting frustrated and driving myself crazy over things I can't control. So it's like I got so tired, you know what I mean, of trying to control things that I can't control and being. So I kind of been like I don't want to say beat into submission, but kinda. I've been kinda because. Like when you're using your own strength and you're using your own emotion and you speaking out of, a lot of times you're trying to target something, but what you end up doing is beating down yourself. Mm-hmm. So what I had to do is I just had to step back I just get down, Smokey. Sorry. I had to just step back and I just had to take a breather. You know what I mean? It's like when you have no other choice. You know what I mean? It's a song that says like, I searched all over and I couldn't find nobody. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, when you try everything you know, and then you just end up always, you know, with that frustrated feeling, it's like, okay, man, I just gotta relax. I gotta breathe. I gotta remember who I am. I gotta remember whose I am. I gotta remember who's in control. It's not Donald Trump. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Democrats. It's, you know, it's none of the, if history has shown us anything, it's that this government system ain't gonna save us.
Absolutely.
Ever.
So it's like, I get to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Let me calm down and let me seek something higher.
Right.
You know? So I really felt like for my own personal sake, for my own health, for my own mental, spiritual health, I just had to step back, sis. I had to, or else I was going to go crazy.
Sometimes you got to surrender to something greater than you.
Yeah. You know those people who end up, you know, grabbing guns and running out there and you know they're going to get killed in the struggle. Like that would have been me.
But at that point, to some levels, you've already given up. You know what I mean? Unless that's the only way that you know, then that's like last resort. And I don't think that most of us are there yet or should be there yet. So I understand what you're saying completely. And I appreciate you sharing it because my story is similar. Like I had to recognize at the very beginning of it that I'm not good with the things that they're about to tell us we can't do. Mentally, it doesn't work for what feeds me spiritually. You know what I mean? I like to be around people. I like to get around and do things, and I had a lot of goals set up. So I had to decide early on. I'm gonna buy some coloring books and a little electric bike and just do some shit that could take my mind off of what I would regularly be on once in a while, so that I won't drive myself. I know me too well to even set myself in that position. If I'd have even took the time that you did, I might have been in a different position mentally right now. If I didn't just say it from the beginning. Right. You know?
Yeah. Like I had to stop watching the news and everything.
Yeah.
Like I get little bits and pieces, but man, I had to check out and go higher because I think it's all smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I got some good advice from somebody too today. Cause these are just different. I mean, just being an adult is just challenging, right? Just regardless, like beyond the pandemic and the racial injustices and everything, right? And so somebody told me this morning, like when you don't know what to do, like don't do anything. You know what I mean? Just sit back, put your hands up and just kind of like absorb and try to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you said as well. So I think we all in the same position when it comes to that, or in agreement with that.
I've definitely heard that advice before, and I agree with it. And a lot of the times, that's why in between stuff, I don't go nowhere and I don't deal with people. Right. Because I be trying to get so much figuring done on the move, and it's impossible at a certain point. Sometimes things will come to you when you're driving, but not the one you was thinking of that morning.
And as humans, we have emotions also too, and sometimes it's not the best to react off of emotion, right? So sometimes you need to just collect your thoughts and think about the best way to go about it. And I like, me personally, I like to go about things the most diplomatic way. That's how I am.
Well, right now it's like our life depends on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like if we can't be emotional. We can't be driven by emotion. We have to be strategic.
Absolutely.
We have to be wise. We have to move carefully. We have to be watching and seeing, looking for the things that people don't see.
Right.
We have to be listening for the instruction.
And listening for what people aren't saying.
Exactly. We've been saying that as well.
And we got to listen for what people aren't saying. I always say that. They're going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff, but you have to take the time to figure out what the gap is.
Right. Read between the lines.
Or what direction, why this is the direction. And it's usually not what the average person considers the angle or what's missing. It's usually something completely different, because if it was that simple, they still wouldn't be using that tactic.
Right.
So, yeah.
Word.
Word. I like it.
It's my folks.
I like it.
Definitely. One thing I did want you to get to though, was the journey. Like, where did this start? How did you?
I was just about to get.
How did you become the Gail artistically that you are today?
come from a musical family.
Nice.
You know what I mean? My mother's an amazing singer. My mother like won at the Apollo when she was 15, and like the Black Ivy, which is a group from the 70s, wanted to take her on tour. My grandmother was like, "You ain't taking my baby nowhere.
Right,
She's a little girl." And so my mother was the Shaka Khan of Newark.
That's heavy.
Right?
Definitely heavy. Like my mother was a star. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you see it. She had the big hair. Like she lived in her own world. You couldn't tell her
So
nothing.
you got it naturally, because like I said, I can see when you were sitting there, your voice, your energy, your personality, like everything about you exudes star. So you got it naturally. You absolutely got it naturally.
Got it honest from Mom Dukes.
Thank you. My mother would be real happy to hear that. She was like, see?
Yeah.
That's her favorite. Her favorite thing is you got it honest.
Absolutely. The apple did not fall at all. Okay. The apple is still on that tree. It ain't fall far.
That's what she always say. And I'll be like, yeah, all right, Ma.
Well, she ain't lied clearly. Look, you done told us though. You told us.
Yeah, she was. My mother was that, and she still is. She getting it in the karaoke. But, but that's who she was. And my uncles were producers, and they was in a band. And like my uncle was he was in a famous group where they was like on American Bandstand. Back in the like my grandfather, you know, so it was all around me. My dad is a DJ. He still is to this day. You know, house music is serious in New Jersey. It's religion to some people here. So, you know, so my father still is a DJ. So I grew up like that. But because I grew up like that, you know, because my mother was who she is, nobody was looking to see if it's anything in little Gail. You know what I mean?
They're like, it ain't no more, it can't be nothing left after that.
Look, they like, you know, my mother is a big shadow. So, you know, it was, you know, as I got into high school and I started to sing more and people started to know me more, I was, you know, very much a rapper.
I get a little B girl out you.
Right.
I get a little B girl out you.
I was ill, Sammie. I'm telling you, like that's what I did. And I almost had a deal with Def Jam. And like that's what I really was. But I always knew I could sing. You know what I mean? But back then it was like you didn't want to be both because you wanted to be taken seriously as an MC. You know, now it's okay to be everything. You know what I mean?
Now it's encouraged to be everything.
Right.
Yes. But back then, you know, women was trying to fight for their place in hip hop, and we wanted to be taken seriously. So, but yeah, so you know, it just kind of went throughout the years, and I let a lot of opportunities slip by for fear. You know, that I'm comfortable being the big fish in the small pond.
Yep.
I was scared to be the little fish out there in the big ocean. You know, so I let a lot of fear overcome me for many years. I had excuses for everything. You know what I mean? And then
I'd have been pissed if I was your friend. If I was sitting next to you, I'd have been so mad. Like, do you know?
Yeah. They were mad, but you know what got me though? What got me though is when I started seeing the pity.
That's tough.
The anger that my friends and family, like I was like, but the pity when it started looking like, damn, you know, another one bites the dust. You know. Yeah, she could have been this. She could. Man. So that started to hit me right there. So I prayed and said, God, you know, if you give me one more chance, I'm not playing around.
Say that.
And I started praying for a producer. I met some some dope cats down in Philly who I started working with. That situation didn't work out. My heart was broken, but I just was like, I'm not giving up. And then I met Imp. He understood me as an artist. We started making Bloody Waters, and and I just, when the response came, and and everybody loved what we were doing, I just knew that God had said yes. And I realized that a lot of people don't get two chances.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not taking it for granted.
Well, I'm
what I mean?
I'm gonna take a little bit of the onus off of you, because you said you had opportunities that you may have benefited from if you chased them. You don't know that. You don't know which way they would have went.
Absolutely.
You also ran into some dope producers from Philly. They were dope. You were dope. It didn't work out. But every time I hear you talk about your producer, it sounds like that's where you was supposed to be any damn way.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take a little bit off of you. You ain't gotta hold all that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happened the way it was supposed to happen, because truth be told, if those opportunities had worked out for me back then, I knew I would have destroyed myself. First of all, I didn't have the confidence to be who I wanted to be, so I would have let everybody else run me. You know what I mean? My self-esteem wasn't as strong as it would need to be in that business, so I would have ended up on drugs. I just know those things.
Yeah, you need a helmet going into that business. You gotta go in with the helmet on, with shoulder pads on. Yeah.
And the woman that I am now, the things that I've been through, and my faith being so rooted, now is my time.
Exactly.
Because I just know that I would have got beat the hell up in that industry at that age. You know what I mean?
But that's important to know. And one thing, like, you know yourself, and even when you were saying that you were nervous about being in a bigger pond, it's like you were protecting who you knew you were at the same time. Because one of the first things you said was that you're very sensitive and you're very emotional. You knew that about yourself. You knew who your mom was in the game and the business, and you knew what came with that. And you were afraid that you were going to lose yourself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's fine. It's better than running into brick walls for 10 years of your life and then figuring it out.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammie. I never saw it that way. Thank you so much.
That's why we talking. That's why I've been wanting to talk to you.
You know what I wanted to tell me and my mental Rolodex, right? It was something I wanted to mention. I didn't know how big house music was in Jersey, right? I had no idea until like literally 2 weeks ago. Oh. No, I'm late. That's like crazy. late. Like Sierra posted something and she was talking about the DMV in Jersey. Like she was doing some dance and I'm like, about house music. And I was like, dang, like I did not realize y'all right across the bridge. Right. And I didn't realize how epic it was there. So is that a part of your sound? Like, so I know you said your mom, was like the Shaka Khan of Newark. So how how did house music influence your music?
Well, my daddy a DJ.
Right.
So I woke up every morning. We ain't had no furniture in the living room, but we had my dad's turntables
right.
and the crates.
Right. That's how the OGs did it back then. Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's just a way of life, not just for me, but everybody who from where I'm from. That's our culture. That's our way of life.
Right.
So, that's what we do. That's what you're going to hear every cookout. You go to anybody's house. We have the house music festivals. They are religious experiences for some people. They real like, so it really is serious. And, I was threatened. A couple of people threatened me and said, we revoking your Jersey card if you don't do a house record.
Wow. Wow.
So I finally got a house record out. Me and Armando out there Diaz, who is an amazing artist and art photographer. Sammie, you saw the pandemic pop-up that I did in Broader Market in Newark?
Yes.
All right, Armando out there Diaz shot that for me.
Wow.
And he and I have a new song called Rain that just dropped, and it's my first house music song. So
I'm
New
on it.
Jersey is really excited right now that I got a house music song. So I got to do some more for them.
I'm excited because
But
I think
that's dope.
your tone fits house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think your energy fits house very well. I think that's an easy one for you.
And, shout out to Newark too, because y'all are between like two like bigger cities like Philly and New York, right? And
Right.
I'm just learning so much about your own. Y'all have your own culture, like it's
Newark
so
is
different.
is lit and is like they have a lot of dope artists.
Yes, and I'm
art,
just learning
the
that. So
history
shout out
with the
to-
Black
to
Panthers.
y'all.
Everything there is a lot of pride in Newark. You just got to get around, just like Philly, the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because we get both.
Right.
It's a special place, and I can say the same about Philly. The reason why I love Philly so much and I love coming down there, I love performing, is because y'all got your own thing that's unique to Philly. Y'all got that deep, I'm so proud to be Black thing that y'all got down there. And it's just a great place for artists,
Absolutely.
But thank you for seeing that in my home, too.
Absolutely.
Man,
Not everybody see that in Newark. People don't, you go to New York and you go to other places, they like, is there any good thing that could come out
of
Newark?
Jersey? No, but I mean,
Come
it's
out
like
of Jersey?
it's like a Jersey thing, really, because Newark really has its own history about so many different ways and things. But I'm constantly engulfed in music and media all the time. That's all I'm doing. So over the last handful of years, I've learned so much about Newark. I've met so many people who either get busy out there or from out there. You know what I mean? Because people go there. Like Eminem went there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then also South Jersey, I've been blessed. A lot of production out of South Jersey. So on the music side, Jersey got it popping. I don't know what's going on in Central. I don't know what's happening in Central, but I know South and North got some shit brewing that I'm constantly bombarded with, and it's always a good vibe. A lot of the times, the energy is a little different from the people. Like before they start doing their thing, you wouldn't even know some of them were stars, and then when they get up there, you like, God damn, this motherfucker. So I appreciate y'all.
Yes, it's special. It really is.
Nah, I mean, well, it's just like when y'all were talking about the music scene that comparing y'all's to the DMV. It's like Baltimore is really heavy on club. DC has their go-go thing. They take pride in that. Right. You know what I mean? We're great on the neo-soul front, but we didn't create soul music.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we don't have that thing that's just like
ours.
They give us gangster rap, but we just found that out when Ice-T admitted it. You know what I mean? Like it's like so crazy that we don't have that thing, but one thing that we do have is consistency of talent.
Yeah, what Philly has what I love about Philly is it's soulful, but musicians
yeah, we got some nice hands.
We got some musicians,
like real musicians.
You know what I mean?
Like you gotta respect that, absolutely.
Yeah, you're not gonna walk in too many places in Newark and see a whole band.
Right.
That's you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent
and a lot of turntables.
A lot of turntables, a lot of talent. You know what I mean? But I got so many musicians, and that can really facilitate what we artists want to do. So that's why it's really, I love coming down there to sing. And you know what? It's like when you come down there to sing, you see so many great acts that's gonna be there with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, God,
hold up. I just gotta point out that you even sing the word sing. She said, when you come to Philly to sing, like you sing the word sing. Like, I love it. Like, I just had to point that out. Like,
I heard it, but I didn't notice it till you said she sung it. I'm like, she did drag that out.
Yes, it was dope. It was so dope. Like, shout out to you for that.
Women being mushy again.
Listen.
Like,
no, we just giving it love. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
One thing Gail has always done is show love. I asked her as soon as she came off stage, when you get a minute, I just want to chat with you. She came over there, and you would not have known that she had just got done tearing it down.
Right.
And all I could talk about is, you just tore it down. And she was gracious. And like I said, I got to meet her producer. I got to meet, was your husband there? That was your husband?
My husband wasn't there.
It was somebody
that
else
time.
that was over there with us. Because I remember watching the
With
video.
my brother.
Your brother. Okay, your brother. And everybody was just so cool. And like I said, we had a lot going on. So I appreciated just the understanding for somebody that you didn't know what all I engulfed or how big my platform was or wasn't. You just knew that I was out there with you and we was going to do something positive. And I appreciated that so much.
But my thought and my attitude about it is, don't nobody have to want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Nobody don't have to find you interesting. Nobody don't have to congratulate me. Nobody don't have to pay me my respects for what I do. So whenever there's someone that does appreciate what I do and want to talk to me, heck yeah. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. And I don't understand artists that don't understand that. You know what I mean? Anytime anybody even want to come out to hear me sing, I'm thankful for that. Because you could do anything. You can be anywhere. You don't have to spend your money on me. You don't have to spend your time on me. So, I appreciate that.
I feel the same way
that's
about
why
the
when
stage.
you asked me to come on, I was like, heck yeah, I appreciate that. My husband walking in the door, Sammie.
Yo, what's up, man?
Peace, good brother.
Salute, King. Salute, King. I want to thank you for holding this queen down, brother.
Absolutely.
You already know, man. I got this.
My husband
that's what it is.
Chop the Savior, who is a Newark legend of his own. And Chop the Savior. Mm-hmm. He's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you just got music all around you.
Yeah. He spit 16 bars and I was like,
man.
I love it.
That's a sweet 16.
Yes.
He spit a sweet 16.
Yes, I love it. That makes me think about that Common and Erykah Badu song.
Yeah. She said it reminds her of the Common and Erykah Badu song.
Like when you fell in love with hip hop, like.
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Listen, I remember I fell in love with hip hop with Kwame, Only You.
You know what?
Or Slick Rick's Children's Story. Those were the two songs that made me fall in love with hip hop.
My husband said those are his joints that you just mentioned.
I met Kwame when I was a kid. I think he was like the first star rapper I ever met because I didn't even realize it was him. My sister was like, we was in the Adams Mark on City Ave. And he was in the lobby. Huh?
No, I think he's from Jersey, right?
No, he's not from Philly, but he was in the hotel.
I think he's from Jersey.
So my sister said, that's Kwame. You love Kwame. And I'm like, that's not him. He don't got polka dots on.
Right.
But he had on a two-piece that had cars all over it. So the cars was supposed to be like the polka dot. But I'm so young, I didn't get it. So she was like, look, they like dots. I'm like, oh. And I went over and spoke to him. I think she really wanted to meet him and knew that I was hype enough to meet him. But I remember meeting Kwame, and that like made my weekend. Like I was major after that.
Major weekend.
Yeah, because he was cool. He kept it decent with me.
Kwame had us all wearing polka dots.
All man, I thought I had the little gold puff in the front.
Listen, I remember my mother had my brother and me. She had us some of those MC Hammer pants, like those blue. She had some of those made for my little brother, my brother Malik and Man. And they had polka dots and they had their little Gumby head. You could tell them nothing.
Was it blind? Was it blind and black? Did they had the two color
They
one?
didn't have the blonde, but they definitely had the haircut.
So I just had to fact check. I like the fact check. So he's from Queens. So I just had to make sure.
Oh, okay.
I just had to make sure I had to clarify that because I said Jersey, but I knew, he's
I didn't
still
think Jersey, but I really couldn't remember where he's from at all.
Yeah, he's from Queens.
Sammie, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Probably somewhere around the time that she's talking, because we're the same age. And a little backstory on us. I've been around her. We went to elementary, middle together, separated in high school, college, and got back together at the college. So I've been around her my whole life. We're the same exact age. You know what I mean? Give or take a few months. So probably around that time, because I used to me and my sister used to perform Only You in the back of the car. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
She would do up, I would do
Me and my sister
part.
did too.
And Children's Story was huge for me. But I think like There was a point where I had an older cousin that was like the cool guy. He had the 4-finger ring, the 3-finger ring, the ropes, the herringbones. He left the house looking like a rapper every day. He was 15.
Yes.
You know?
Funny.
And,
That was my Uncle Eric.
and he had all the tapes, and I used to borrow his tapes. I borrowed 2 or 3 of them, high speed dub them, and send them back down with my dad in the morning. So like I was building a profile of rap that I didn't even understand because I was listening to what he was listening to. So I was listening to Guru when none of my friends knew who Guru was.
That's how it was.
Right.
So by the time I was 12, I was a rapper. I remember talking to my mom around 11 and 12 saying, like, how would you feel if I became a rapper when I grew up?
Right. So hold on.
You
I
know
got
what
a
I
story.
mean?
I got a story from when we were in school too. We were in middle school, and I want to say that you probably weren't a part of the circle because I don't think you would have did this to me, right? But we were charged. I think it was the group of girls. We were charged with like over the weekend, you got to write your own rap, and you got to come back and spit your own rap, right? So me, this is when Biggie first came out, but I had to take because I hung around my male cousins that were older. Like I was always around the males, right? The guys. So I come back spitting warning. Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. And they was like, that's corny. That's corny. Oh my God, you so corny. You so corny, right?
They knew it was Biggie.
They didn't know. We went to a private school, right? We went to a private school. And this is before the song came out because I had the tape before. So you remember you do singles. So that wasn't the first single. Because Juicy was the first single, right?
Right.
So it wasn't out yet. So months later when it come out, I'm like, yo, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I stole that from Biggie. Y'all told me I was corny. Like, yo.
But even
My
back then,
husband said he did the same thing. My husband said he came around. My husband
your
just
husband is my
recently told
people.
me
I know,
that
right?
he came around the way. Lyons Avenue. My husband and me, we both from Lyons Avenue in Newark.
Okay.
He said when he was a little kid, he said he came out and he's like, I don't know, baby, what you say? Mac 11, 11,
about 838, 99, Mac 10.
He said everybody was like, whoa. He said, but after that, he knew he had to become Chops.
Right,
he
right,
had
right.
to become Chops the Savior because he done told him that was his rhyme.
That's cause he's solid. If he was a sucker, he'd have kept doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
He got over. They told me I was corny, so I couldn't do it.
But we was doing talent shows back then. I remember being AZ. I remember being Snoop Dogg.
I was Total.
She
Lauryn
was
Hill.
Total, Lauryn Hill. But
Monica.
But at the time, I was rapping. I was writing raps in creative writing class and English class when they let us do poetry and stuff. I would write raps. I was writing a lot of poetry too, and I was freestyling all summer, all night to like funkified free instrumental.
That's so dope. That's a
Shit
dope
like that.
That's a dope beat.
So like I've been like in love with it for a while, but I never wanted to be similar to you. I never wanted to be that guy that when somebody say, yo, rap, I had to rap. And I always knew that if you really wanted to do it, sometimes that's what you got to do because you never know who they know or who you in front of.
Right.
So I knew
Gotta
if
be
I
ready,
wasn't
stay
going
ready.
to take it that serious that I wouldn't present myself as a rapper. But every time there was a cipher going on and it started getting interesting, I would jump in there and niggas would be like, oh shit, I ain't even, yeah, all right. And then niggas started dragging me to the studio.
Right.
But that was my thing. Like I fought it too. I was an A&R. I was a manager. I was the budget.
Right.
I done did everything else. I done built 3 studios. I don't own any studio equipment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I done did everything else before I said, you know what? You still know how to do this shit.
Right.
Right.
I'm sipping. Oh, my fault.
Yeah, they love sipping, man. They love sipping. It's crazy thing is sipping's not my favorite, but I can't pick what y'all love.
No, everybody loves it though. I mean, all your shit is dope, but that for sure always gets the room like lit.
Yeah, that's one
Most
of the
your
ones.
songs do. All your songs do, but
No, that's
sipping,
one of the ones. That's one of them. Everybody
be
gonna
like,
have
"What?
fun
Run
with
that back! Run that back!" Like, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But you know what? And that's the thing too about timing. Like I had the idea to do Sippin' with Sammie probably 5 years before I was able to do it as a podcast. I had opportunity to have a show remotely from a local radio station, an internet radio station, and I had planned it out. And I had my camera guy, and I had my format, and I had my co-host that was going to be a bartender, but he's a comedian, so it would have been love. And we was going to travel to wherever you was at, your backyard, your bar, your basketball court, wherever y'all drink at, the basement, and I'd pull the cooler up or whatever, and we was going to chop it up. But what happened was that opportunity kind of fell through because in the middle of planning it, the guy that was the comedian, he's also a school teacher. And he wound up getting a job as a principal.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? it's cool. Don't even worry about it. Congratulations. Because I know as a principal, you ain't got time for this.
Right.
Especially a new principal. He's adjusting. It's a transition.
Right.
So I said, go do your thing. And, a few years went by, and I always said, well, if I did it, I would really want a female co-host, and I knew I was going to get her. She didn't know this, but I knew I was getting her.
Had no clue.
So then
I was bamboozled.
The opportunity came, and shout out to Font. That too. Shout out to Font Productions. She said, well, if that's your idea, we could start that. I'm like, when? She like, next week? I'm like, all right. So I got her in early. And I didn't tell her I wanted to be her the co-host. I told her I wanted her to be the guest. And she caught the bug. I didn't even have to say nothing else to her. She just told me she wanted to keep doing it.
I'll tell you one thing. Y'all a good match. You know what I mean?
You.
Appreciate that.
You know how you could feel when because I've done a lot of interviews and stuff, and sometimes I can tell when the chemistry is not there between the host.
I've been there.
And y'all chemistry is there.
I appreciate that.
You.
But like this is my smoking partner. We complain to each other and shit. Like you know what I mean? We understand each other. She gets my bullshit. So
right.
We'll be fine. But I appreciate that though. But no, that to say though, it all wound up working out perfectly, even though it was years behind, even though people thought that I was piggybacking off of something else that had came into fruition in between time. But the song Sippin was around to become the intro to the thing. Like it's just like certain things to let you know what? This one we supposed to be doing it.
You're on the right track, yes.
You see what I'm saying? Just little nudges.
Right.
Yeah.
Little nudges.
Yeah.
Can
exactly.
I have a girl moment real quick? I just need a girl moment.
Talk to the lady.
Because I'm loving your braids. So can I just ask you a question? Is it like half up, half down, or do you got the whole thing up?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. Right.
Half
Okay.
up,
That's
half
what I need to do. All right. I'm just loving your braids. I'm sitting here like, how does she have them sitting like that? All right. I just had to have a moment. I'm just sitting here the whole time, like,
just this little part up here in the ponytail.
All right, cool.
And then the back down.
I'm gonna try that next one. I got
it would sound bad if I say I done did that with my hair before, but anyway.
No, my niece. So listen, I can do a lot of things. My hair is not. I don't have time to play with it. So my niece, whenever I see my niece, she does it. I've worn my hair like that, but I've never done it like that. Yeah. So it's cute. I love it. So.
Thank you.
You hear the boss talk about I don't be having time. You hear her, right? No, but give Gail a little bit of your background. We done got her to talk about her this whole time.
Sure. So I'm the editor and publisher of On the Scene magazine, and On the Scene magazine is a positive platform magazine. We are like inundated with negative information. So On the Scene, we promote nothing but positivity from, I say, entertainment to education. I call it edutainment, right? So and everything in between, fashion, sports, business, just everything is just from a positive perspective. So that's what my platform is. I'm a 4th generation editor. So my father had a newspaper, his father had a newspaper, and his father had a newspaper. And they were all dedicated to like positive information as well. So it's in my blood, literally. When they say ink in your blood, like I think they might have put some ink in somebody's blood and it's still here. So
tell her the name of the
first paper. That's so dope.
Oh, right. So the very first paper was, so even further, I'm a descendant of William Lloyd Garrison, who had the Liberator, which was the most influential newspaper dedicated to the abolishment of slavery. So yeah, it's like really, really, really.
Like they've been in ink since slavery.
Yeah, since slavery, since like 1829.
Oh my God.
Yep. So
she a different animal. And then
yes.
She's also because I got Flyboy Friday radio on Glocawear every Friday. She's 1/3 or 1/4. I don't know how y'all counting at this point of Fly Girl. So
1/3, but we have an honorary Fly Girls as well.
Yeah, but they got Fly Girl Friday radio that comes on right before my show at 3, from 3 to 4, and they are doing a lot of positive things and getting a lot of behind the scenes people and community things. And part of what she's doing is spotlighting small businesses, black businesses, and entrepreneurship.
Right.
So
I love that.
Just trying to work them from every angle, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just trying to take over this media game.
Congratulations.
So I definitely thought that I can't do every episode with her because she wears a lot of hats. But one thing that I thought about when we did this was I definitely wanted her to be here for yours because I wanted you two to engage and meet each other and support each other and so forth and so on.
Absolutely.
I hope I can be in your magazine.
You can. You said nothing but a word. You can. That is absolutely. We can make it happen. I'll make sure
Yes.
she followed me before you even told me she was interviewed. Like you guys must have been working behind the scenes anyway. And I started looking at her page. So absolutely, like we'll make sure that we connect. Absolutely.
Yes, I got this big thing coming up where I'm doing, Sarah Vaughan is from Newark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's from Newark, and I'm doing this tribute film.
Oh wow.
With Al Jacobs from Black World Films.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be directing it, and we're doing this tribute drama type of tribute to her.
Oh, nice.
And we're about to start shooting, I think probably next week. I'm going to talk to him today. And we're shooting for a premiere in March.
Okay.
Oh.
So this is going to be a short film. We're hopeful that we're going to be able to get it in the festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would love to
please keep me posted. Please keep me posted. Absolutely. That's exactly something that we would love to highlight. So make sure you keep me posted on that.
I will.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's history and Gail at the same time.
There you go.
It is.
And
It
it's two stories, but it's a hell of a thing.
Exactly. And because Sarah Vaughan is from Newark and I'm from Newark, and the blessing is when we decided to do it and I put it out there on social media, the Vaughan family started to reach out and say how dope they think it is. Yeah. They started saying like, that's so dope. We so happy you're doing this.
I was going to ask if any of them were still in the Newark area. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. Shout out to the Vaughan family. Shout out to you for making it still live that making people, because a lot of people aren't familiar or aware. So you're promoting it, and the next generation is able to see it.
They said we're so glad that you are paying tribute to her, keeping her legend alive.
Absolutely.
And they know who you are.
Yeah, slowly but surely it's growing.
That's great. That's awesome, yo.
That's good.
I'm so happy for you, man.
Absolutely. Congratulations on everything you're doing.
I knew you would have some new news for me when I talked to you, because I know that you somebody that you're in go mode. You trying to make it happen right now, and things are gonna come to you, and you're gonna find things. And so I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to keep it going. And I don't, look at obstacles. I try to just look at, a way around them. I try to find solutions. So.
Well, we all got obstacles, so it ain't no point in dwelling on them. And at the end of the day, looking at last year and the beginning of this year, we got more of them in common than we thought we ever had. So it's no time to be down on yourself. It's time to be creative. It's time to be thoughtful. It's time to be helpful.
Absolutely.
It's time to be helpful. And one thing that I've been running with since the beginning of the pandemic is it's okay to not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. You can say it. I mean, even to them white folks, when you go to work and they, hey, what's going on? You okay? No. And then when they ask you why, you got the right to either tell them or give them what's going on out here. Look, they fucking with us. You know what I mean? But you can tell them too. But either way, it's okay to not, because we've been suppressing this stuff for so fucking long that our kids look like they 30 and they 12 because they got it on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not cool. And I don't mean like physically, because we age well, but I mean when you look in their eyes,
right?
Yeah, you don't see that sparkle because the hope is diminishing by the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's okay to admit that you're not okay, and hopefully people will treat you right, knowing that you need your space or you might need a conversation.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can't rely on them, and you can't be fake for them, because you just put more layers onto your pressure through the day.
Right. And what I found is that, when you are brave enough to just say, I'm not okay, or to share whatever you're going through, you'll be surprised at how many people are like, thank you for that.
Right. Or,
you know what I mean? Like that, me too. Like,
exactly.
The devil want us to think that we going through things by ourselves. Absolutely. So we can have that lonely place. But
that's never the case.
So many people feel the same way, and they're looking for someone to give them permission to not be okay or to share what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
But people like us, we feel our feels, right? We're in tune with a lot of how our emotion goes. We don't fight it.
Right.
So I'm sure we can all relate to that day where you thought you put your cape on and you thought you looked fine, and everybody you came across asked you what's wrong or are you okay?
Yes.
So once you realize you can't hide it, why try? Like, what's the point? You can't do it. I'm not capable of it. I'm not going to do it. And especially not in times like this where everything that I've been possibly holding it in for is on Front Street.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a difference between encouraging yourself and suppressing your feelings and hiding.
Absolutely.
There's a difference between that. And I think that sometimes we, just as a people, especially as women, where we have that trope, the strong Black woman all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have confused that to mean that nothing bothers us. That's not what it is supposed to mean. Strong Black woman is, whatever I'm going through, I have faith that I'm going to be able to be okay.
Absolutely.
And
I
to
know
uplift
that I'm
and
not
hold
gonna lay
everybody
down
else
and die.
around you down also. Let's not neglect the fact that in the middle of y'all going through it, y'all have families, husbands, and all types of things that's going around that y'all had to inspire to want to do it the next day too.
Right.
And that's a lot. It's a lot, man. And our burdens are our burdens, and that's why this started with, we're not going to dwell on the fact that we have obstacles. We're going to figure them out. We're going to move around them, and we're going to set to the side the things that we can't immediately fix.
Right.
But at the same time, our plates are full, and we reserve the right to say so. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't ask for all of this, but y'all not going to let me get up till I finish this plate. So bear with me while I finish this motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be rushed.
Right.
I'm not going to be rushed.
I'm worried about my digestion. I'm worried about
I'm not going to have you making me feel like I'm supposed to do this and do that, because trying to live up to a standard is something that wears you out as well.
It burns you out.
You know what I mean? Trying to be what somebody else wants you to be.
It goes back to those blocks.
Defining you for you.
It goes back to those blocks that stop you from receiving the energy and the message that you're supposed to be gaining.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get you through these things, or that'll help you figure out what you can do with extra time on your hand, if that's one of those things that have become a thing.
Right.
Because we can spend time building, creating, networking, resourcing, or we can spend a lot of time in our own head. And my head is somewhere that, if I'm forced to be there, is not where I want to be.
Right.
You know? But
and then sometimes it's just about like, okay, you can go into your head. Don't stay there too long.
Yeah, I just want to visit. I just want to visit.
We got to get up and and even if we haven't figured it all out, you still got to step out. You know what I mean?
Well, we're at a point where we've seen so much stuff figure itself out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just takes time, or like she said, or like one of y'all said, removing the emotion and giving yourself time to get the emotion out of it. But some things just take time,
right.
And you weren't going to be able to rush that,
right?
And I think that it's important to know that, and that comes from people that we've done a lot in life and we've experienced a lot. A lot of people haven't gone through that, so we have to be patient with them. But I do want them to know that they're listening, that none of these things are isolated incidents.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Sammie, I'm so glad we got to talk. I didn't know you were so wise.
Well, that's, I got long hair, tattoos. I curse a lot. But at the same time, we have the same educational upbringing and foundation. And that was a blessing in itself. We went to an all-black private school.
Wow.
And I was there from pre-kindergarten to graduating in 8th grade. And then I went to a magnet school and to a Catholic school. She went to a magnet public school that was the biggest in the city.
And one of the top schools in the country.
Wow.
But at the same time, we still been us, and we were us in those institutions.
Absolutely.
I got suspended all the time for fighting. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
But
I was still voted class clown, like, because I'm a goofball.
But my grades was great till high school.
Yeah.
And even in high school, I just did what I wanted.
Somebody just posted something. It was like, shout out to all the girls who, to all of the young girls who the teacher put on your report card. She's a nice girl, but she talked too much.
I knew that was me.
And then she was like, shout out to all of y'all, because now our talking is getting us our bag.
So guess what? In our 8th grade yearbook, I was most talkative. I was the most talkative of the class in 8th grade. So absolutely. If I ever got in trouble, it was from my mouth, not anything else.
I had a
Wow.
teacher that, in order to make me behave in class, because I was killing her class. It was nothing she could do to fail me for real, except fail me in behavior. But she used to bargain with me that if I would behave for her class, she would let me sing my rap in front of the class. Like, that's how long rap has been a thing. Like, she knew, like, if I let him rap, he'll be good all week until that day that I let him rap.
Yeah, that's a teacher who endeavors to get to know you instead of just trying to control you.
We had that kind of community. We had smaller
right,
classes. We had predominantly black staff, you know? And my mom worked down the hallway.
Not just trying to throw you over to the principal to get suspended, but understanding that this kid is not just talkative, he's spirited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to kill that in him. I just want him to be able to apply it at the appropriate time.
Yeah, and I had a rest in peace to my Aunt Hazel. She's somebody that I lost last year. She was one of those teachers that took the time and that fought with the principal and the school board to make sure that she was able to do things for kids that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
Absolutely.
She had probably the most trips thrown for her classes out of every school she's been in. She took them kids everywhere she could, and she took us with them. You know what I mean? I would get out of school to go on trips with them. And in the summertime, I would help her set up her classroom with the kids that was working over the summer that she was making sure had a little extra in their pocket when they left they program.
Right.
Like, these things were important. And it's like, I thank teachers and coaches that I know all the time. I thank them constantly because we, as adults, we deal with what surrounds us. We have nephews, children, whatever, nieces, and a couple young boys that might be your neighbors.
Right.
But they got 30 times 30. I mean, 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. And it's a rotating thing, and they're affecting hundreds of kids at a time. And they're dealing with hundreds of kids at a time and trying to give them hope. So the ones that I know were the good ones, I thank them constantly. We could be drunk in a club, and I will thank my homie that does high school basketball. You know what I mean? Because I know what it meant for us. I know who was on my team. I know what they was going through. I stopped one of my homies from trying to shoot one of the coaches before. You see what I'm saying? And the coach deserved to get his ass whooped. He ain't deserve to get shot. But it was like, I understand it's some things going with these kids.
Yeah, I mean, when any time when this subject comes up, I always say that if it wasn't for chorus class, you know, I don't know what would have happened to me. You know, I was in high school during the crack epidemic, and you know, my parents were sick. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, ain't no lights on, getting up, getting dressed in the dark, going to school. Right. You know, coming home and nothing to eat. Nobody knew nothing of that was going on. Right. And I would have not gone. I would have played hooky and just dropped out had I not been able to get up and go to chorus.
Because that was something, that was an outlet, that was a motivation, that was a comfort zone.
Yeah.
We gotta give these kids these outlets.
We was preparing for the winter concert. We was preparing for the spring concerts. Like, I gotta go to school. Like, I wasn't, you know, my grades were horrible and everything in high school, but I would be in chorus.
But you had chorus to motivate you to keep going.
To keep going. Yeah. And then when I would have a bad day, you know, I had that preferential treatment from my chorus teachers. Right. Because I was a soloist, they let me kind of just hang out, take the day off in there. You know, and then sometimes they're like, all right, Gail, go to class, you know.
I was like that too. I was a cheerleader with pep squad. So I had the same. I understand. Yeah. And that's a gift and a curse though, right? Like, yeah. That's a gift and a curse.
But I had a friend, somebody close to me, but since I'm going to speak on the situation, I'm not going to speak on the person. He had a student that he said he was coaching girls basketball. And he said she can't play, but she's a good kid, and I realized that she tries to make sure she's always in an after-school program. Basically, the little girl didn't want to go home. Right. When they looked into what was going on, her father was a pimp, and her dad was his bottom.
Her mom?
I mean, her mom was the bottom, and the living room was crazy while mom was cooking dinner, and she's trying to do homework. You see what I'm saying? You have no idea how much stuff these programs save these kids from. Yeah. You know what I mean? she could do her homework at school. She'd rather do it at school. Let her do it at school. By the time she get home, she eat dinner, she go to bed. She run in her room.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
When I got old enough to get a job, I would get up, go to school, go straight to work after school, come home. I had 2 jobs at one time. So I would go to my first little job, then go to my other job, so that when I come home, it's like time to go to bed, get up and leave again. So yeah, I get it.
It's a real thing. We gotta give. We have to provide these things. The job programs aren't the same for kids. Like fill a job ain't you know what I mean?
The resources are not just.
It's nowhere to send them where they can be productive and figure some things out in those times.
But you know where there are. You know what? Shout out to
there
a lot
are,
of
but I mean like
it's
not the same.
It's not. I see in the structured format.
Exactly.
But shout out to, again, you know, something I speak about is that I've seen, like, I know there's a lot of hatred. There's been a lot of adversity we've been faced with, but I see through this, the light that I see is a lot of like entrepreneurship and a lot of businesses growing in our own communities, right? And I think through that is generating jobs, even for our youth. So I think things like that are things that are positive.
That might be something I didn't consider from, and that's fairly new.
Right,
as far as your perspective on that.
Absolutely.
But I was just because and you know, part of what might be the problem is I'm looking for the traditional ways that it was done.
Saying. Yep.
But it wasn't those ways weren't done through us. Let's be honest.
But they
you know what I
because
mean?
now we
but
have
now if what she's saying
that are
makes
young.
a lot of
we
sense.
We got young politicians and things like that who we can talk to enact
I agree.
that. I know in our local area. And just generally speaking, I mean, we got some of the youngest senators and congressmen and women ever. You know what I mean? So there's definitely some room for that.
And a lot of people that weren't groomed to become politicians. They're real people that decided that their community deserved better.
Sure.
Right.
And I appreciate that.
Right.
That's been a beautiful thing lately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I work for an after school program.
Okay.
And I teach sewing to little kids.
Aww.
So
you a seamstress?
Yeah.
She's such a creative. She's a creative.
I can do anything creative.
See?
Yeah, so so some of my kids, part of our program, because it's not just sewing, but it's a whole bunch of different choices that they have. But we always put the entrepreneurial part in it. That piece is important because, you know, and we have some little kids. It's a little cosmetology class that's a part of the after school program.
Good.
And it's one of the girls made their own line of lip glosses.
Great.
And now she got her little Instagram page set up, selling her little lip glosses.
Salute to her.
Absolutely.
That's heavy.
The kids in the art class, they auction their art.
And I would love to do an article on that. Like, those are things so encouraging. I would love to do an article on that.
Yes, I would love for you to do that. And what kids in my class this semester, we are going to be making face masks, the bonnets. We're making some other stuff, but we're going to be like doing a little giveaway to a stranger. So we might go like downtown Newark Penn Station or whatever, and you know, give away some stuff. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how we're gonna do that.
I like that idea.
Me too.
I like that idea.
Absolutely.
I know we're in strange times, so it's weird to say it that way.
Right,
but I like that idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to you for that and all your efforts that you got in that regard. Absolutely. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And one thing that I do want to say, is when you are in this area or you have time to come, let us know, because
sure,
we got a lot of dope people doing dope things, but a lot of dope women that I would love to tie you in with and let you organically build your relationship with and tell them who you are, present exactly what we out here doing, man, because you're an awesome person, and
Absolutely.
I've always been big on your energy. I've always loved your energy.
Thank you, man. Look, I same here. Feeling is mutual, and you know, I'm just a holler away. Just DM me anytime y'all doing anything. Me and my husband will love to ride down to Philly.
I would love to meet your husband in person, and we have 100th episode coming up sooner than later. We're on our 87th episode, I think, by now. So the 100th episode, we're going to do something decent. Depending on the climate, we'll do it socially distant, but we want to have some special people in the room, and we'll figure out a way to get y'all up here.
Okay. If you look up you probably saw my husband's music because I got a couple of songs with him that I post on my page.
Okay.
So you could,
I'm gonna check him out anyway because he's your husband, and he sound like somebody I would fuck with.
Right.
He's ill. I'm lucky. I'm a blessed woman.
And I don't mean for it to sound like just because he's your husband, but at the same time, we gotta support who support you.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why I thanked him when you told me he was in the room.
Yeah,
that's genuine. But no, Saf.
No, I just want to thank you for your time. You've been very inspiring. Your energy is just so positive, and you were definitely a star. Like even through Zoom, I can tell. So I just want to thank you for your time. So I just want to thank you for your time and thank you for your energy. That's what I wanted to.
Thank you for your heart and thank you for your spirit.
Absolutely.
I want you to run down everything you got going on for my audience. Let them know how to find everything, how to book you, anything, how to support your efforts. Even when it comes to the after school program, just let them know how to get in contact with all that stuff.
Okay, well, the after school program is called After School All Stars. It's a nationwide program, and this is the North Jersey. I work for the North Jersey chapter. So you can go to After School All Stars New Jersey and you'll find us. I think it's .org. Okay. And as far as I am concerned, you can find me on Instagram, Gail_Campbell01. Facebook is Gail Campbell. Twitter is Bloody Waters GC. The name of the album is called Bloody Waters. It's available on all the streaming platforms, available for download and stream. We have the Sarah Vaughan tribute. It's called The Legend and Her Legacy. That's going to be in production very, very soon. So please look out for that. Dope. Also, Stanley Ipkiss and I are working on our new album. We're about 4 or 5 songs in. Yeah. And it's coming. It's gonna be another special joint. And what else do we have? We're still doing the pandemic pop-ups. I think the next one will probably be Brooklyn Bridge. And wow. And yeah, just check out all our stuff.
Okay.
Man, I appreciate you, Queen, and like I said, I'm super glad that I was able to have Saf here for your episode so that y'all could vibe.
Thank you so much for coming, bringing that female energy.
I'm super excited. Yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna figure out some things very soon in the future that we could do together, and that we could do to benefit each other and whatever we got going on.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. Salute to you.
Looking forward to everything.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
Sorry.
Yeah, but shout out to Gail, man.
That was a dope seg. I love that. Definitely.
I had fun.
She I could feel the energy through Zoom. I was like, shit.
No, like you don't understand.
I feel the love.
Watching her present her art was a blessing. We could actually watch it after this. I'll show you. And talking to her afterwards was just like, you know what? You my kind of folks.
Yeah, she's dope. She's definitely dope.
She's always like that every time I've reached out to her. I tried to get her on in the past, but sometimes we try to book at the last minute.
Right.
And she told me weekends would be best. So I said when we do a weekend joint, that's one of the first people I'm reaching out to. So
I'm glad that you did. It was a definitely dope sit down. I had a good time with her.
No, and I learned a lot. She was very
positive. She was encouraging. I learned a lot too. And like I said, I just started learning about Newark recently. I've known a lot, I've known bits and pieces, but just
ain't no people, but it's different.
Exactly. So shout out to Gail.
Yeah, and shout out to Newark, man. Like I really want. That's one of those places where it's
for
like,
a little something.
You kind of want them to win.
That's good.
But it's like she said, that little Jersey complex thing that people talk about where they're like, well, what's good in Jersey? Like, there's some stuff going on out there, man. And Gail is one of them.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what that film come out to be like.
Yeah, me too. Shout. And it's dope that they are, keeping Sarah Vaughan's legacy alive as well.
Yeah, and it's dope
she's definitely historic, an icon. So I can't wait to see that as well.
It's dope that the support from the family too, because
a lot of times you don't see that. Exactly. So,
because I understand too that if you're not presenting control of your family story and you don't understand certain things, like you can control certain things, but you can't control everything.
That's it.
I can understand that being a problem because you don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something very close and very dear to you, and you don't want it to be presented as a Lifetime movie. You want it to be something great.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that. But it holds up progress for some things that the fans would love to see, but we can't put ourselves above the family for anybody, no matter how big a star they are.
Right.
The family is the family first. I just saw Kobe's wife ask for respect and the media to, give her a break because the time is coming back.
Up. Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's still brand new. They're still babies.
Not even a year.
So it's like we have to, no matter how much we love that person, we still have to respect what the family needs when the family needs it until it comes to a point where they're good with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I keep in mind. But we're on this side of it. We speak to a lot of the people that are in the spotlight. We hang around them.
Right.
So we have a different understanding sometimes of it. And at the same time, that could be you tomorrow without even blinking because you're already in this space where like people already got eyes on you.
Right.
So you just got to be understanding of stuff like that. But it's dope that she has that support because it's not easy to come by.
Absolutely.
And I wish them luck in the festivals because that sounds like a great opportunity.
Grabbed your glass. I said, let's toast to them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know, those festivals are a big deal when it comes to film.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot to do with the anticipation build up around your film that you can't create on your own, how it's exported, all type of stuff. So definitely wish them
Speaking
the
of
best
that, shout out to our man Martin Washington. He's doing well with that Danger in Moscow. He's doing very well with that.
I got something on deck with Wash.
Yeah.
Washington hit me
I know.
up.
I talked to him.
He told me we gotta figure some things out.
I talked to him.
I'm a ride.
I already know.
And you know what I appreciate? He hit me up one day and I gave him a short laundry list. I said, before we can do this, you need to figure out this, this, and this. He called me.
I told him to call you.
Within probably a week. And he said, I done figured out this, this, and this. I need the favor though. Can you do this?
Right.
And I'm like, I could do that. As long as you got this, this, and this, we can figure that out.
Right.
And so we at that point now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be major. Salute to him for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. I'm not gonna shout out the situation. That's his place. But
no. But just it's major things.
Salute to the whole to his entire project.
Yeah.
Because this is a byproduct of the fact that he went ahead, had an idea, made it something, brought it to fruition, and now he has other things going on alongside of it. So that's what we talk about all the time. That's what you gotta respect. Salute to the cast of The Bid.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
We had The Bid on Flyboy Friday Radio. We had Boone in there. Filthy Rich was in that pub.
Danny Diamond in there.
Danny Diamonds was in there.
Killed it.
And they was in there and they bagged. They partied with us. We had a big party.
We had a very good time. Vodka came through.
Vox slid. Del P was in there.
Del P. How can I forget?
I got Del P to co-host. I'm a legend.
That was dope. I seen my bro my bro had a great time.
I mean, we had a ball in there. But salute to everybody because it was a bunch of people there. But check out The Bid. Full of Philly love. Whole lot of Philly actors, comedians, more so than actors, but like these are just naturally, organically talented people that came together to make something happen. I like how they chose that though. Like they chose, when they were going through their selection, their screening and casting, they chose like organic people. Like I think they could have easily had some big name people. Boom,
and they didn't want that.
And Rich are plugged. Their manager is plugged.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Doggy Diamonds and everybody else that was in that situation all the way down up to A-Town is plugged.
Absolutely.
They decided to get a bunch of people that they believed in that was local, that had something going on and try to blow it up bigger together. And a lot of compromises was made and a lot of decisions was made in the interest of putting together the best project possible.
Right.
And I just like pointing those things out because this is a part of business. And it came out in 2021.
Yep.
And it's something that was filmed in 2018. So we spoke about the process and what they went through to get from A to Z on that. And that was very important. And I appreciate them for sharing that because a lot of people, for whatever reasons won't give you that. But I think that it's important no matter what platform of mind we on, that the process and business is understood. And I appreciate them for that because as much as we partied, they kept it G with us. They gave us the whole thing.
And Boone was a fool.
They broke down all the way to how they got the music situated.
Yep.
And they didn't have to give us that much detail.
No, it was a dope interview. It was a dope night. It's fly shit only.
Yeah, salute to
Fly
my fly
day.
girls. Salute to the logo, DJ Freaky Free, glocawear, all the glocawear fam. We had a great time.
Absolutely.
Tripping coming soon, man.
Yeah, man.
And we put up a couple trippings recently. Go check them out. Tripping with Sammie's. We got plenty more to come, but we just put up the Son of the 215 pup recent. And we got another one coming real soon. And Philly Hip Hop Awards. You know, all type of madness coming. So just stay tuned in with us. Subscribe, like, share. Make sure that if you gotta get your business right, you get with Font Productions, PHANT, PHILLY on Instagram. You know, and shoot my sis some leads for some positivity because she has multiple platforms to share them on and would love to do so. So reach out to Sunny Brick, reach out to On the Scene Magazine, holla at the Fly Girls, and just make sure that we can cover it what makes sense. Because that's all we want to do. But
so you already know you can find me at Sunny Brick on IG, but for most platforms, just find me on thescenemagazine.com. That's what you need to see. That's what you have to see. Positive information from entertainment, education. We're doing edutainment. So on thescenemagazine.com, holla at you. We got some new things coming out very soon. We have very big announcements, and you're going to see them ASAP. So holla at us on thescenemagazine.com. So you are on the scene.
Say that. But check us out every Thursday, man. We drop a happy hour on all major platforms. That's our thing. I love happy hour, which means you can also catch us the next day, Fly Day. Fly Day runs from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Fly Girl Friday, 3 to 4 p.m. Then 4 to 6 p.m. we got Flyboy Friday Radio, and we turning up for y'all. We bring you information. We're going to have a party.
Every time.
We're going to do what it do, man, but it's high energy. It's a great way to start your motherfucking weekend. And salute to everybody that makes it happen. Salute to all the people that always tune in. We appreciate y'all. The merch is available for Flyboy Friday Radio. The merch is available for Sippin' with Sammie.
For Fly Girls, too. And guess what? Listen,
You know
I saw
what I
that
mean?
drop off. We got that Fly Girl merch. And guess what? On the Scene got that merch coming, too. So you're going to see an amazing drop in February. So
all you got to do is reach out to the respective people.
Make
the
sure you're
respective
sipping out these cups. You see this?
situations.
We sipping right.
Sipping right, man. These are Sippin' with
You can
Sammie
have the glasses. You can have the shot glasses, whichever size you want. All of them. Might as well get them all.
Coasters, Sam
Oh,
Danas.
we sipping nice.
I ain't even adjust my Sam Dan on it. There we go. Sam Danas, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It's all type of stuff out here. Just help us to bring you what we've been bringing you.
Absolutely.
That's all it does. But we appreciate y'all support. Absolutely. And I have been Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rue. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And forever will be. And this has been another episode, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Ow.
You are now tuned into the
It's a shame how you love me, then you turn around and leave. You have no idea how you fractured my self-esteem. My pride don't wanna believe how bad I was deceived. How could something so right go so wrong? I prayed so long, my love was strong. God, you have some explaining to do. I know my pain ain't entertainment to you. Now, look at my dream, my fairy tale. Now hear that, wanna laugh at Gail and wanna be friends like all is well. But you don't know how I feel inside. I was on the verge of suicide, and I was the one who was down to ride. Now I'm here just holding on, praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell with all these fairy tales. Yeah. Hi. Oh. Hi. praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell with all these fairy tales. Praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell, to hell, to hell with all these fairy tales.